Do you guys have any sort of, analytics around, just how effective these ad fraud solutions are? Anything that talks to like how much you're able to prevent and,
Sure.
potentially how much you're able to save a customer?
Yeah. Um, it depends on the customer, depends on the channels that they're spending on, depends on what they're doing. Because, like I said, one way of identifying fraud is following the trail all the way down to the final endpoint, and then taking that information and all that data and getting it back to the buying side or the media side, and working together. And most companies do not have the capabilities of doing that, but that helps reduce the overall, budget of fraud. So, like I said, on average, when I bring on a new prospect and we're working with them, typically it's 25%. So in that, we want to come up with, a ballpark. If it's 25% that we're catching and we block the 25%, so let's say they went and said, okay, I'm going to flip the switch and go live and block the 25%, they're going to see a 25%, well, a greater than 25% increase in ROI, because you're knocking out that 25% fraud, but you're really not just not spending that money, you're taking that budget and still spending it on good people.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a calculation, I think it's over 30%. Like, we have a publicly traded company that does a lot of lead generation for their clients, and they've got major Fortune 500 companies. And they gave us a case study that we increased their client ROI 20 to 25% by flipping on the switch.
Incredible.
I mean, that's the
Wow.
kind of impact you're seeing. So if I dealt with a client today, they were more in the 5 to 10% range, but you're talking about, millions of dollars a month being spent, and 5
Yeah.
or 10% of that being lost to fraud. For a few bucks, you can take that, identify it, reinvest it back into the good stuff, and see a lift in ROI.
It's almost like double, right? It's like it's almost a double-edged sword, because you're talking about initially you're spending, let's say 25% in fraudulent, in fraudulent leads, but then all of a sudden you reduce that 25% in fraudulent leads, and then you redeploy it on new customers. So I 100% get it. It's like, the ROI for sure kind of lines up with what you guys are blocking out, but it's almost like to me it feels kind of like double, because you're able to reduce the fraudulent spending, but then also redeploy it on actual customers.